Well, actually it started quite a bit before 1992. It actually started working out on some difficult radio astronomy problems, something that Stephen Hawking suggested back in 1974. Ultimately proved to be one of the important keys to the puzzle of doing high data rate wireless communication.
Wi-Fi is a wireless communication system that lets you transfer at very high speed files, images, videos between computers, between mobile phones and computers, or tablets and computers.
Every day, an invisible signal surrounds you, right now. It's passing through your walls, your phone, your laptop, even your body. You can't see it, you can't hear it, but without it, modern life would almost completely stop. No streaming, no social media, no smart homes, no instant communication. It's called Wi-Fi. But here's the strange part. One of the most important technologies in human history was never supposed to exist. It wasn't invented by a tech billionaire. It wasn't designed by a giant Silicon Valley company. In fact, the scientists who created it weren't even trying to build Wi-Fi at all. They were actually searching for something else, something far more mysterious.
I guess maybe you could say it's an accident. We certainly, when we started out looking for black holes, we didn't see where this was going to end up. When we started to look at wireless networks, the fact that we worked on the radio astronomy problem.
Signals coming from deep space. And during those late-night experiments, they accidentally discovered the technology that would eventually connect billions of devices across the planet. So the real question is, how did a failed space experiment end up creating the wireless internet that runs the modern world? Because the story behind Wi-Fi is far stranger than most people realize. And once you hear it, you'll never look at that little signal icon on your phone the same way again. Segment 1. The accidental invention. Believe it or not, Wi-Fi wasn't invented on purpose. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, a team of scientists in Australia was working on a completely different problem. They were studying radio signals coming from space, hoping to better understand mysterious astronomical phenomena like black holes. The research was led by physicist John O'Sullivan, who worked with a group of engineers at Australia's National Science Agency. Their mission had nothing to do with internet connections or smartphones. They were trying to solve a physics challenge. When radio signals travel through space and reach Earth, they often become distorted or scattered.
Wi-Fi is a wireless network system. The idea of wireless networks is to connect various computers or all sorts of devices that can talk to each other. A router in the home bounces around the walls, bounces off people and gets smeared in similar ways.
This makes it extremely difficult to interpret the data correctly. The team began developing complex mathematical techniques to reconstruct these signals, essentially figuring out how to clean up messy radio waves. At first, the work seemed like pure theoretical research, long nights in the lab, whiteboards filled with equations, and computers crunching endless calculations. But eventually, the team realized something remarkable. The mathematical solution they had developed could also solve a completely different problem, sending data wirelessly between devices without interference. In other words, the same technique that helped analyze radio waves from distant galaxies could also help computers communicate through the air. At the time, no one imagined what this discovery would become. But that accidental breakthrough eventually became one of the core technologies behind modern Wi-Fi. A small physics experiment meant for space research had quietly created the foundation for a global communication revolution. Segment 2. Early Wi-Fi was weird. Even after the technology existed, early wireless networks were honestly pretty strange. The first Wi-Fi systems were incredibly slow by modern standards. In the 1990s, early wireless networks operated at speeds of about 2 megabits per second. To put that into perspective, today's home Wi-Fi can reach hundreds or even thousands of megabits per second. Back then, downloading a single photo could take minutes. Streaming video was basically impossible, and the hardware was huge. Early routers looked more like scientific equipment than home gadgets. Large metal boxes, bulky antennas sticking out, blinking lights everywhere. They were expensive too, sometimes costing thousands of dollars. Because of this, early wireless networks were mostly used in universities, research labs, and large corporations. Only highly technical users could install and configure them. Setting up a wireless network required serious expertise. You had to manually configure channels, frequencies, and security settings. One small mistake could cause the entire system to stop working, but engineers kept improving the technology. Devices became smaller, speeds increased, costs dropped. By the late 1990s, something big happened. The first official Wi-Fi standard was introduced. And suddenly, wireless internet was no longer just a lab experiment. It was ready for the world. Segment 3. Wi-Fi changed the world. Once Wi-Fi entered homes and businesses, the impact was massive. For the first time in history, people could access the internet without cables. Before Wi-Fi, connecting to the internet meant plugging your computer directly into a modem using an Ethernet cable. Every device had to be physically connected. Wi-Fi changed that overnight. Now, a single router could broadcast internet signals through walls, floors, and rooms. Laptops could move freely around the house. Offices no longer needed miles of cables running across ceilings. Then smartphones arrived. Suddenly, billions of devices depended on wireless internet every single day. Coffee shops started offering free Wi-Fi to attract customers. Airports installed massive wireless networks. Hotels made Wi-Fi a basic expectation. Today, Wi-Fi is everywhere. Homes, schools, airports, libraries, cafes, parks. Some experts even call it the fourth utility, alongside electricity, water, and gas. Modern routers can connect dozens of devices at once: phones, laptops, tablets, gaming consoles, TVs, cameras, and smart home gadgets, all communicating instantly through invisible radio waves. And most of us barely think about it. Segment 4. The weirdest Wi-Fi uses. But Wi-Fi isn't just for phones and computers anymore. In fact, some of the strangest uses of Wi-Fi are happening right now. Smart homes are a perfect example. Wi-Fi can control lights, thermostats, door locks, security cameras, and even coffee machines. Some systems automatically water plants based on weather forecasts. Pets are getting connected too. There are Wi-Fi-enabled collars that track a dog's location, activity levels, and even health data. If your pet escapes the yard, your phone can alert you instantly. Hospitals use Wi-Fi to monitor medical equipment and track patient devices throughout large buildings. Farmers use wireless sensors to measure soil moisture and automatically activate irrigation systems. Some experimental research labs are even using Wi-Fi signals to detect human movement through walls. Because Wi-Fi waves bounce off objects, scientists can analyze those reflections to determine if someone is moving inside a room. It sounds like science fiction, but it's real technology. Wi-Fi has quietly become the invisible network connecting almost everything around us. Segment 5. Fun facts and future Wi-Fi. And the future of Wi-Fi might be even more surprising. Engineers are already working on technologies that could extend wireless internet far beyond Earth. Satellites are beginning to communicate using advanced wireless networking systems similar to Wi-Fi. In the future, spacecraft might use wireless networks to share data across entire space missions. Imagine astronauts on the moon connecting devices through a lunar Wi-Fi network. Researchers are also developing Wi-Fi sensing where routers can detect movement patterns inside buildings. This could help monitor elderly people living alone, detect intruders, or improve smart home automation. At the same time, new standards like Wi-Fi 7 promise dramatically faster speeds and lower latency. The goal is simple: connect more devices, faster, and more reliably than ever before. From a small physics experiment studying radio waves to billions of devices connected across the planet, Wi-Fi has completely reshaped modern life. And the most incredible part? It all started with scientists who weren't even trying to invent Wi-Fi in the first place. So the next time your phone connects to Wi-Fi, remember the strange story behind it. A group of scientists studying signals from deep space accidentally created one of the most important technologies of the modern world. Pretty amazing for something we usually only notice when it stops working. And if you enjoy strange, surprising stories like this one, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. Because the world is full of inventions, mysteries, and discoveries hiding in plain sight. And we're just getting started.